Hey guys, thank you for checking out our video today. My name's Sean Elders. This is Pinnacle Combat Arts. Like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell so you can be notified every time we get a new video. Today we're going to be talking about martial arts schools. Are they really preparing you for a violent altercation? Let's get started. So when we talk about martial arts, across the line, doesn't matter what kind of martial arts you're doing, from Brazilian Jiu-jitsu to Muay Thai to Taekwondo or karate or whatever style, Kung Fu, doesn't matter what it is. The question you should ask yourself is, first, why am I doing martial arts? Am I doing martial arts because of the love of the art of it, the love of the culture of it? That's one aspect. Another aspect would be for self-defense and self-protection, and that's the one we're talking about today. When you came into the martial arts school, what was it that drew you to that school or drew you to do martial arts in the first place? Hopefully, one of the things is you're doing it so that you know if you got into a violent altercation, that you'd be able to walk away and survive that situation, at least have some tools to help you feel more confident that you'd be able to handle a situation if you got into it. That's a very important part of this whole thing. So when we talk about martial arts, a lot of times a martial arts school may be dedicated to the sports. Maybe it's to get trophies, okay? Some schools like Brazilian Jiu-jitsu and some schools like Taekwondo and karate and Kung Fu, some of them focus more on going off and getting trophies and things, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But when it comes to combat, in a sparring session, when you go off and you spar at let's say the US Open or any of those places like that, that is not a true gauge of what a violent altercation can be like. There's rules, there's a certain energy, there's a certain atmosphere and environment that has been created and that's been put together so that when you get into that environment, there's certain tasks that you're trying to focus on. Point sparring, different things like that. Even in Brazilian Jiu-jitsu has a lot of, it's very, very valuable. I train in it, but you need to understand that there are aspects that are outside of the competition aspects of martial arts. So you have some schools are athletics or focused on the competition. There's some schools that are focused on the tradition of things. There's some schools that will claim to be self-defense schools, but they never spar or they never are pressure tested. So the question is, if you train in a certain style or system, do you think you're ready? Do you think you're prepared if you got into a violent altercation where somebody attacked you to try to kill you? If somebody came at you with a knife, if somebody came at you with a firearm, or if multiple people wanted to grab you and take you away, kidnap you. The question is, are you prepared for that? And if you can't honestly say, yeah, we've trained that, we try to train and we try to deal with learning how to deal with somebody coming at me with a knife or somebody's trying to attack me. If that focus isn't there, then you really have to ask yourself and question what it is that you're doing. Even for instance, some people say, like if they practice Thai boxing, for instance. Thai boxing is great. I love Thai boxing, okay? But Thai boxing is a system that's developed to go against a striking. Well, what if they grab you and bring you to the ground? If you're a boxer, what if they bring you to the ground? Doesn't matter what style or system, everything has its strengths and its weaknesses. That's one aspect. We had it here in Tampa, Florida. We had a Muay Thai guy get into a street altercation, and he was a high-ranking. He won he was a high-title guy, and we lost him. He got into an altercation and he died. There's a high-level Brazilian Jiu-jitsu black belt that just got in an altercation in an environment that was very dangerous, and he got killed. Okay, so this is the thing that you have to understand, is that doesn't matter what style or system you are, we have to always ask ourselves, are we prepared? Are we ready for that violent altercation where it's not fair? It's not a good situation. Are you preparing for that? And so one of the things that you have to ask, if you're in a martial arts school, the first step is to ask your teacher, if you're not sparring, to ask to spar more. But sparring isn't just enough. You need to have pressure testing. You need to get into a position where it's awkward for you, and then they try to attack you in that position, and you try to prevail from that position, okay? So these different things, even if you're doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, okay, there's some schools that focus on competition, and there's some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools that focus on self-defense. You have to ask yourself, do they pull a knife out in the middle of your grappling? Do they attack you or start striking you in the middle of your grappling? Those things have to be practiced. So the question that you have to ask yourself always is, what am I doing and why am I doing it? What am I doing this martial art for? Am I doing it just because I love it, it's my hobby? That's great. But if you have that leering feeling over you that says, man, I'm just not sure about this. I don't know how to deal with a knife coming at me or a gun or multiple attackers. I've never practiced that. I've never practiced, if you've never practiced being in a car and being attacked from different angles in a car where most attacks take place, okay? Being kidnapped or being attacked to take your money or take your car. You have to practice these things. You have to train these things. So these are all questions that you have to ask yourself. And if there is it, you could always contact me and find out more about my programs. And you can also contact me to find out if there's any programs close to you that could help you to prepare in these violent altercations. I hope this helped you. I hope this said something to you and deep inside of you. If you're afraid or you're unsure, you need to know. You need to know how to deal with violent altercations. Go to our website, pinnaclecombatarts.com. There you can find out more about what I do and the classes that I provide. Thank you guys so much for your support and have a great day.